Hello and welcome to Serene Market Mastery SMC training video 1.4, and this one might be the last one for the SMC series. I could add a couple more, but this will be the last one of all the stuff you really need to complete the SMC strategy. This video I'm just going to go over Fibonacci, the retracement, and the volume indicator, which is actually called the fixed range volume profile. Two default settings that you can get from TradingView, and I'll be showing you the settings I have for each of them so you can copy and you can complete it the same way I do it. Okay, so for the retracement, I'm going to draw it out for you here. Okay, so let me show you the settings before we move on. So these are my settings. You can either do it as percentages or you can do it as the decimals. Personally, for me, I've been using percentages. It's what I prefer, but either or doesn't really make a difference to your trade or strategy. You can use whatever you feel comfortable with. And you got this here and the visibility and stuff. So that's the settings for the retracement. So now let's show you how to use this in the market. So the main thing you want to do when trading using the Fibonacci retracement is to place, for a sell position, you're going to want to start at the peak, so the swing high. Okay, you'd click to start it, and then you'd go down all the way to the swing low, which would be here. Okay, and then you just put it across just like so, just here, right? And you see 100%, 0. These are the swing highs up here and the swing lows here. This is the most important thing to start with Fib, is to get your swing high and swing low in the zone that you're looking at. Okay, the main things to know about the Fibonacci retracement is that the 50% zone is equilibrium. So anything below the 50, you're going to be looking for a buy position. Anything above a 50, in this occasion, we're going to be looking for a sell. So in a sell, you would always start your drawing from the swing high to the swing low. Okay, so for a sell, swing high to swing low. 50 is the equilibrium zone. So after it goes down here, it's or in a demand zone. Okay, you can call this a demand zone. Anything below 50, after it's gone past it, it's a demand zone, so you'd be looking for a position to buy. Okay, but 62 is a good zone, but I don't tend to pay too much attention to the 62 zone unless there are other indicators in the market to tell me to put a position in here. Okay, the first zones I would look at would be the 70 and the 79. This is what I would consider the golden zone. So this is where, I mean, this is the most powerful zone from my experience. You can even highlight it and put a yellow thing on it to know that this is the golden zone to buy. And you see, when I took this trade, I actually took it based on this golden zone. So as you see, we have our golden zone here, and right here we had our order block that we drew in the previous, I think it was in level 1.2, we drew this order block with the supply pattern here, and then we have this extra confluence of the golden zone of the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, this is very powerful to use, as it gives you the best confluence to say that this is like a premium zone to put your position. Okay, this is the most premium zone to place your sell position. Okay, so as you see, it went all the way down, broke through the equilibrium into the demand zone, tapped into the fair value gap, but didn't fill it here, and it just went up, tagged our our golden zone here, and it just shot straight back down. Fibonacci is a great tool to use. I would recommend, if you do use it, to use it on the higher time frames. Like every single thing that you're going to be seeing in these training videos, you're going to want to utilize them all on a higher time frame. A higher time frame will give you the confluence of extra security. Okay, so on a lower time frame, so let's say you're on the 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 minute, 3 minute, all of those times, the Fibonacci can say it's a golden zone. However, in the larger thing, remember how I said zoom out? All right, if in doubt, zoom out. in the larger picture, you might actually be in a demand zone. Okay, so you want to make sure you draw your Fibonacci in a higher time frame so you get the best outcome out of the actual indicator. Okay, so if you want to get the most out of the Fibonacci retracement, I highly recommend you use a higher time frame, or a medium time frame is also good to use, but I would recommend to use it within the 4-hour or daily. You can also do it on the weekly. However, if you do it on the weekly, you're going to be waiting for your positions to hit certain zones a little longer, obviously. So that's it for the Fibonacci retracement on a sell position. Let me show you on the flip side on what it would look like for a buy position. Okay, so we would have gone from the swing low here to here, as you see, and we can literally just grab it and drag it across to where our position was. This is how I initially drew it, but I am planning on going in for another trade over here. But as of right now, you see, this is how I drew it. You see our golden zone. It lined up perfectly. Let me draw it for you so you can see our golden zone right here. Okay, as you see, our golden zone, I had this drawn out. I was ready. I saw all of this happening. It went down, so I was prepared, and it triggered just here my position in the golden zone alongside an order block, which I got in a lower time frame, I'm pretty sure. If we go back here, there was an order block that I took somewhere around here that influenced my trade. Yeah, this one right here. So I just entered here and I saw it create the order block, and this was actually a very perfect trade, which took me a long time. But you can see here, swing low, drew it all the way to the swing high up here, and got our golden zone. We were in the supply zone area, so I did not bother to look for a buy position. As you know, it's in a supply position. If it's above the equilibrium, anything up here, you should not be taking any buy positions. Okay, this is a supply zone. This whole zone here is supply. Okay, so that's the one thing you want to know about the Fibonacci, is anything above 50, when you draw it from the swing low to swing high, is a supply zone. You do not want to be looking for buy positions. Okay, so once it actually broke through the equilibrium zone into my demand zone, right, I knew this was a great opportunity to start looking for a buy position, a long. So what I done, I drew this Fibonacci all the way to the top and waited for a perfect moment to re-enter where it was reacting fine with this. And I'll actually show you now the other indicator I used to actually take this position here. So if I just move that to the side quickly, I took the fixed range volume profile, which I'll also show you the settings here in a second, and I drew it from the start here all the way to where it finished over here. Okay, and as you see, the highest amount of volume, it will draw its volume out all the way here. Okay, so this is when it first came out. I drew it like this, and I just kept tracking it. As it kept moving, I kept tracking it until we entered this stage here, and I wanted to know how much volume there is. As you see, we have a lot of volume being built up right here. Okay, before I go any further, let me show you the settings for the volume, the fixed range volume profile right here. Okay, so let me just show you this. Make sure you copy all of the settings so you have the exact same look on your screen as I do here. So if you ever want to come back to look and see what's to correlate, to see if you've missing something out, make sure you have the same settings so you can follow it step by step to make sure you're not like missing out on something that might put your order in the wrong place or something. So that's those settings. You got the inputs here, you got the coordinates and the visibility. All we're focused on is the point of control, which is the blue line that draws it for you. Okay, and this blue line shows you where you have the most volume built up. And if you're in a demand zone and it's in our golden zone, as you see, it's in our 70.5 to 79 zone. It's in our golden zone pretty much. So what you can do here is use these two confluences on their own alongside with the market structure that we looked in the other video, and you can see that there is a lot of volume in this demand area for the market to go up, right? So these were the two of the biggest confluences and indicators that I used together, alongside with the change of character back up to the upside, that I needed to make my decision to actually place the trade. Okay. In most of my trades, I use 50 as a point of take profit one. So right here, I would have actually taken some profits, and then I would have just followed up trailing stop loss all the way until we hit the take profit. Okay, so that's mainly, it's very simple on how to use the Fibonacci retracement and the volume profile. If you do have any questions, feel free to put it in the questions tab for the SMC training, and I can answer any questions. If there are a lot of questions being built up around the same thing, I'll create a video or I'll do one of the live streams and I'll try and explain it through that. And yeah, if there are any other problems, make sure you contact me. I'm available 7 days a week, pretty much 24 hours. And yeah, I hope you finally are getting a grasp on how to trade and become a better trader with Serene Market Mastery. And yeah, thank you for watching.